humans, I'm Yoshiller, and welcome to my new walkthrough for Sonic Rush, a Nintendo DS game that launched back in 2005. So, this is a DS game that utilizes both screens regularly during gameplay, so I decided to come up with a little bit of a layout that would look appealing to anyone that's watching. The idea is that both screens will be present at all times on the right side of the screen, while the game screen that's mostly in focus will be on the left side of the screen. Now, that all comes down to me in editing. My goal is to make sure that the gameplay looks as seamless as possible, because as you can see, just in this demo play right here, Sonic is going back and forth between the screens, but with the power of editing, I have the power to control time and space! But only in editing. Anyway, what do you say we get started, huh? We have three options here. Not many options, but it is the first Sonic game on the Nintendo DS, and it doesn't really need too many options because this is a short game. It's supposed to be a short game. We have gameplay, which is the story mode, battle play, which is the multiplayer, and options. We'll look at options real quickly. Player data, that's linked to the game system that I'm playing, which is my 3DS. Difficulty, normal, we'll talk about that in a future part. Time limits on, delete save data, we're not going to mess with that. And then I believe this game had the ability to send demos to people via download play, but I'm not going to really be showing that right now, but that's it. Otherwise, let's just go straight into gameplay, and if you've never played a cartridge of Sonic Rush before, you will be thrown right into the first level of the game. Here we go. So the main mechanic of this game, well, you can do tricks while you're in the air if you press the B button. You can do tricks on the rails when you press the R button, but you might notice that over to the left, I'm filling up a little bit of a bar, and that's my boost meter. My boost meter allows me to, well, boost ahead. I get temporary invincibility when I'm boosting, but of course I am going faster and I have to be wary of my surroundings. But you can defeat enemies to boost your boost meter, you can do tricks to boost your boost meter, and sometimes you'll collect items that help you boost your boost meter. And then if you press R while you're in the air and you're not on a ramp, you will get a little bit of an extra boost depending on which direction you're pressing. So here we go, I will press B a bunch of times here, and then press R to gain an extra boost. So there we go, and then when my boost meter is flashing like this, it means I have temporary infinite boost. It'll wear off in about 3 seconds, but otherwise, the other thing I have to do besides just complete the level is I need to collect a Chaos Emerald. It wouldn't be a Sonic game without one, and wouldn't you know, the perfect opportunity is right here. So you need about 1.5 meters worth of boost in order to play this mini game. You go on this little spinny thing, you spin around, and then you play a special stage, which requires the use of a stylus because it is all controlled on the bottom screen. Much like other Sonic games, you will be playing a little bit of a mini game that's different than the gameplay of the main game to try and collect a Chaos Emerald. Every world has a Chaos Emerald. There are 7 worlds in this game, 7 Chaos Emeralds total. I will be getting a Chaos Emerald per world, and your goal is to collect the amount of rings that appear on the top screen by controlling Sonic using touch controls. Slide him to the left, slide him to the right, easy peasy. Of course, this is only the first special level. They will get progressively more and more difficult. And you want to try and collect more than the amount of rings that they tell you to collect because there are multiple phases to these minigames. And then sometimes you'll hit balloons. There you go. Sometimes you'll hit balloons and then you'll have to tap numbers in the correct order to get rings. If you tap them in the incorrect order, you won't get any rings. There we go. So I have passed the first part of this bonus game. Now I have to collect 200 rings, but my rings carry over, and that's why I would encourage you, if you're playing this game, to collect additional rings any chance you get. So because this is the first time I'm playing this bonus game, it's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. But there will be a couple obstacles along the way. I think this one will even have obstacles as well. I did do a few practice rounds of this game before I started recording this walkthrough, but I didn't play through the entire game. There we go. So if you touch those, you will lose rings, and you just have to hope that there are enough rings left on the course for you to be able to get the Chaos Emerald at the end. So a little cautious here. You got to go through the proper parts, and then in the middle, and boom, boom, and I'll do this real quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And that's it. And then when you get to the end, Sonic will do a little victory pose. He'll collect his Chaos Emerald, and then he'll be on his way. So what do the Chaos Emeralds do? Well, at the moment, they don't do anything. They're for later. Now, you can collect as few Chaos Emeralds as you want. You don't have to collect any of them. You can still beat the game without any Chaos Emeralds. But if you want to complete the game, which is what I plan to do here, then you should collect them as you're playing the game. And if you ever miss a Chaos Emerald, you can go back in a level and collect more. I also should point out that each level in this game has a ranking system based on how many points you get on a level. You can get points for doing tricks, beating the level within a certain amount of time, and collecting a set amount of rings. So you want to have as many rings by the end of the level as possible. You want to do as many tricks as possible. The more stuff you do, the more points you get. The more points you get, the higher ranking you have at the end. So I'm almost done. Each level in this game is about 2 to 3 minutes long. There are 1 or 2 exceptions, and of course we'll address those when we get to them. But this is only the first level. Straightforward, getting tons and tons of trick points. There we go. And then generally when you see a straight way that goes on for a little while, that means you're toward the end of the level. So 1 minute 34 seconds. I don't know if that's fast enough to get the time bonus. I think I had to be faster than 1 minute 30 seconds. But for each level in this game, I will be getting at least an A ranking. The highest ranking is an S ranking, which I don't think I got here, but I did get an A. Now, before you guys start complaining, oh, I wanted a perfect walkthrough, I wanted to see you get an S rank. Two things. One, there is an exploit you can do to get an S rank on every single level. I will show that toward the end of the walkthrough. Two, ranks don't actually matter in this game. There's nothing you unlock for getting an S rank on every level. There's no punishment you get for getting the lowest rank on every level, which I believe is a C. Now, if I happen to get an S rank at the end of each level, then fantastic. But I will get at least an A rank. I will try and hold all of my rings before I complete a level. I will try to beat each level in a fast enough time to get the time bonus. And I'll make sure I do my fair share of tricks on these things right here to try and get as many points as I can. So aside from all that, aside from doing tricks on trampolines, aside from doing tricks on ramps, the only other thing you can do tricks on are things that launch you into the air that aren't just like bouncing off of enemies. And then you can press R on the rails. Yeah, so just because you're in the air doesn't mean you can do tricks. It's only when you are launched into the air by an object that's on the ground. And you might notice I've been going back and forth between the top and bottom screen a lot. Hopefully, with proper editing, it looks seamless. I will be judging when to switch between frames based on when the timer appears on the next screen. When I'm on the top screen, like I am now, the timer's on the top screen. When I'm on the bottom screen, which I might be in a second, the timer's on the bottom screen. And on the frame in which the timer appears is when I will switch the screens. Okay, I hit an enemy, but I didn't lose any rings. That's okay, there's no penalty for that, and I got another shield. Okay, so you can keep doing tricks off of the same platform, but if you keep doing that, you will get fewer and fewer points every time you do a trick. So I will leave that platform. I will continue on ahead here. Here we go. Oh, no, I thought we were nearing the end of the level. Another checkpoint, so there's still a little more. And then if you missed your chance to get a Chaos Emerald, you can use that little bonus thingy right there. There we go. Okay, gaining a little bit of extra height. Destroy that enemy, okay. Running out of boost meter, but I got an extra life. You will get an extra life every time you collect 100 or more, or every time you collect 100 rings, you will get an extra life. So I collected 300 rings, so I've gained 3 extra lives in the time of, well, the beginning of the first level and now. So there we go. Nice. Getting chased with this at the end, but there's no problem if I got my boost power, which I do, and boom. So Sonic tradition, at least in the 2D games, is that you play 2 levels and then you do a boss fight. And Sonic Rush continues that tradition. So let's see what ranking I got on Act 2. I think that's still an A rank. I think you have to get beyond 9,000 points. Yeah, so if I collected a few more rings if I was slightly faster, or if I did a couple more tricks, I could have gotten the S rank. But as it stands, we are about to do a boss fight. But first, a cutscene. Eggman, what are you up to now? Sorry, I'm not a voice actor. Forgive my terrible voice acting. Sonic, you little pest. Soon, ultimate power will be within my grasp, and I shall be invincible! Ha! I may not know what your plan is, but it's never going to work! And just like that, we are in to the first boss battle of the game. Now, boss battles function a bit differently than regular levels in the sense that you cannot use your boost power. And there is a ranking you get for these, but the ranking is solely based on how many rings you collect, believe it or not, and how quickly you defeat the boss, naturally. So collect every ring you can and make sure you don't get hit. So this boss is straightforward. I mean, it is the first boss in the game. That's basically his only attack. He's going to wind back and then slam the little head of the snake-like creature onto the stage, and when the head is slammed, you can move away, wait for it to slam, strike it. Do this enough times and do it quickly enough, and you'll be done. Now, he does have 1 or 2 other attacks that he'll do as the boss fight continues on, and if you are worried about dodging, you can always spin dash just before he's about to slam, or you can press R or L while you're in the air to do a little bit of an air dash. You can do that during regular gameplay as well. Boom. Already more than halfway over. Easy peasy. Now, I think at this point he's going to try 1 or 2 different attacks. There we go. So, these attacks will better take use of the fact that the game is, in fact, in 3D. All you got to do to dodge this attack is jump over it. Oh. Now, if he does knock you off the stage with that, I believe that is an insta-kill. It will just keep pushing you back until you are dead, so jump over it, don't try to fight it. But do try to fight this. There we go, 2 more hits. And at this point, I think he will alternate between doing that 3D attack and striking me. Let's see. Yep, so he's doing the 3D attack again. Each boss fight will be in 3D, and it will have some sort of 3D attack, so to speak. And I kind of like how it looks here. It is a DS game, so it does kind of have a little bit of a charm to it. Obviously, these aren't the most realistic looking graphics in the world, but for DS standards, it's nice how they pulled off this 3D effect for boss battles, I like to think. I don't know, I just think this game is neat. It's a nice, short, comfortable game that I enjoy with thrilling gameplay, and that's why I decided to walk through it. Just so that I could have something that I know before I dive into something crazy again. Okay, simple. Alright, oh, still going. Sometimes that attack is quick, sometimes it's long. That was one of the longer phases. Don't quite know exactly what controls it, but this should be the final hit as long as I don't get hit. And boom! So I think I had to beat him in under 2 minutes in order to get the time bonus. I think I was just unfortunate with that long phase of an attack, but I do have all the rings. So I should be able to still get an A rank. Alright. Now you might be thinking that's a Chaos Emerald, but it's not. As Sonic, you don't get Chaos Emeralds just for beating bosses. You have to do those bonus stages. Over the past few years, Sonic games have generally tried to be pretty story-driven, so there is a story in this game, albeit a pretty quick, short one, but I will be discussing it as the game moves along. And then for boss battles, I think you have to get 50,000 points to get an S rank. I got an A rank. I'll take it. Like I said, I'll be getting at least an A rank on each level. You can be sure of that. Now, upon completing the first world, I'll have access to the overworld map. Oh, hang on. Hey, what's up? Eggman's got another crazy scheme, and we saw some mysterious girl. Things are starting to get interesting, eh, Tails? Idle hands can be a dangerous thing, Sonic. This ultimate power that Eggman spoke of. I wonder what kind of power he was talking about. No need to worry. Whatever he decides to do, we'll stop him. Let's go, Tails. I know I can always count on you. So sadly, Tails is not playable in this game. Hey, Sonic, wait for me. So sadly, Tails is not playable in this game. It's all Sonic, but Tails will appear on the top screen. Otherwise, for now, I have and I can play as Blaze the Cat, but we'll talk about that later. Otherwise, I have access to this world map. Can't do much on it right now besides go to Zone 2. I could play Zone 1 again, but I already got everything I needed from there. If I press X, I can actually preview the rest of the map, see what's soon to come. As you can probably expect, each pink spot is a location I will visit eventually, and one pink spot is out in space. But for now, that wraps up this video of Sonic Rush, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. In due time, that 5% meter on the top screen will say 100%. And we'll see what this game's greater plot is. We'll see who that Blaze the Cat character is. We'll see how to get more Chaos Emeralds. But for now, this part is over, and next time I shall play the Water Palace. So that wraps up this part of Sonic Rush, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye-bye, humans. Whoosh! Hey, thank you for watching my video all the way to the end. If you want to show your support, one of the best things you can do is leave a comment down below. So if you have anything nice you want to say about the video, or if you have any questions, I'll try to respond to whatever I can at my earliest convenience. Either way, your support means a lot and I really appreciate it. I hope to see you all in the future. Bye-bye!